So this is weird. I don't like really talking to myself, and I feel like it's awkward to do update videos, but I know that I will regret it if I don't document our journey. Our first transfer didn't work because I'm what they call pre-receptive. I had lining issues in the very first IVF cycle. They put me on estradiol tablets to build up my lining to prepare for transfer, and they just didn't work. I mean, my estrogen levels were insanely high, but my uterine lining was not thickening. My body just didn't respond to the tablets, so we had to cancel that cycle. They put me on patches, which worked, but each time they had to like leave me on a little bit longer to get there finally. So I had lining issues, and the first transfer failed. We were devastated. A loss is a loss, and that was our little girl, and I couldn't keep her around, and we were so confident that it was gonna work, and it didn't. We had a follow-up appointment with my doctor almost immediately after my blood test that confirmed it was negative. We met with him, I want to say, the Monday after the Friday that I had the blood test. And he talked to us about an ERA, which is an endometrial receptivity assay or array. I've heard it referred to as both things. And basically it's a biopsy of your lining. Spoiler alert, this is kind of gruesome, so if you don't want to listen, just fast forward or stop the video. They go in and they scrape off a bit of your lining, yes, while you're awake, suck out the sample, and then they send it off for testing. It's a fairly new science. It's only been in like the last couple of years that it's really been implemented in fertility clinics. I'm all about science, I'm all about research. My doctor said he doesn't usually recommend that a patient do it until they've had 2 embryo losses, but he said we could do it now if we wanted, and we said let's do it because I didn't want to gamble with any more embryos. We only have 2 frozen embryos left, and if we lost a second one, then we only have 1 left. I mean, those odds to me just weren't acceptable. He agreed. So to prepare for an ERA, what they have you do is act like you're preparing for a transfer. You get on the patches or whatever estrogen regimen they have you on. I was on patches. I did patches, and then I did the progesterone injections just like I would for any transfer. They call it a mock cycle. So the day you would go in for a transfer, they actually do the biopsy instead. They can hone in exactly where your lining is that very day that it would be transferred. Some linings are pre-receptive, meaning they need 1 extra day of progesterone. So instead of transferring the embryo on day 6 of the progesterone injections, they transfer the embryo on day 7. So the window is more precise. I'm pre-receptive. So we were so thankful that we went ahead and did it, because we would have lost another embryo, and we were so glad that we just went ahead and found out that I was pre-receptive, so that the next transfer we do, we know we have to do an extra day of shots. It gives us a little bit more confidence going into our next IVF cycle. So that's why our first IVF cycle failed. Do you ever just like love water so much? We were approaching our second transfer, and it was supposed to take place the day after Thanksgiving, but it was canceled because my lining would not thicken up. I've had some issues with my lining getting thick enough, and that's really irritating. They left me on the patches for a little bit longer, the estrogen patches, and was trying to get me there. They like to see at least a 7 millimeter, but my lining was like at a 5 the first time I was checked. And then the second time I was checked, it was at a 5.1. So my doctor said, let's just cancel this cycle. That sucked big time. I've seen some people on my Instagram have lining issues as well, and their doctors actually go ahead and transfer if they're at like a 5 or 6, but my doctor is just super thorough. He doesn't want to take any gambles with any embryos. We trust him completely. I was so upset when he said to just cancel the cycle. I'm a really kind of impatient person by nature. Our transfer before that was September 5th. To have to wait any longer is just miserable. He told me to just go ahead and get off all my meds, stop the patches, which is what I was on, and we would wait for a period. He actually prescribed me Provera to induce a period. After I came off my meds, I started my period a few days after I took my last Provera pill. And I actually thought he meant like after I get my period, we will proceed to the next cycle. But he meant after my next like natural period. So he literally wanted me to be off of meds for an entire month. I was like, oh, we have to wait a whole month? And I was so upset. Like, I cried. I'm not a crier, but I just like bawled. And my doctor was completely right to pull me off and give me a break. It's not what I wanted, but it was the best thing for me. The ups and downs of the medication is really difficult. I have been on fertility medication since May of this year. So for 7 months, I've been on fertility medication without a break. Being on medication takes a really big toll on your body and your mind. When I start the patches, I go to an escalating dose. 1 patch, skip a day, 1 patch, skip a day, then 2 patches, skip a day, 2 patches, skip a day, then 3 patches, skip a day, and then I go up to 4 patches every other day. While I'm on that 1 patch and 2 patch regimen, I get such bad headaches, and it is miserable. It is so rough because you just have a chronic headache. It's just morning, noon, and night while your body's working up from a low dose of estrogen that your body's naturally producing to elevating your estrogen really, really high, preparing for a pregnancy, essentially. During this month, I've really been able to relax. I am about to start my last semester of undergrad. Better late than never. Don't have anything due. Don't have any medication to take. It's been pretty amazing just sleeping in. I'm not a loaf. I'm very productive. I clean the house and things, but it's not having to do something. It's that feeling of nobody is asking me to do something. Nobody is expecting me to do anything right now. It's just this insane good feeling. I was telling my husband the other day, I said, when will I ever get an opportunity to feel this way? To have no obligation, to have nobody expecting something of me. And he was like, never. Because we're hoping that you're gonna be a mom soon, and then you're gonna be living for someone else, and then I start school soon and I have things due. You know, it's just so bizarre, this feeling. What do I do with my hands? I've chosen to really soak it up and get really involved in this break that I have. It's been so nice. I'm just on a break. We were on a break! Anybody watch Friends? We watch Friends every single day. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of make an updated video. So hopefully our next cycle will be in January. I hope that me sitting here talking to myself and rambling on has somehow helped you. If you have any questions about the ERA or about IVF or anything, please comment and I will definitely try and answer your questions the best that I can. I know that when I was researching IVF, I found so much useful information on YouTube, and I also thought that there was a lot of stuff missing. Like, I was like, well, these don't really answer all my questions. So I know everybody's journey is different, and I thought posting mine might help. If it helps at least one person, that's cool. If it doesn't help anybody and I'm just sitting here talking to myself, that's cool too. I don't know. I'm not trying to make any money or be famous off of this channel at all. I just want to share my story with my friends and my family. My family has no idea that we're doing IVF. We just want to document things so that they can watch our journey and be a part of it from the very beginning and know everything that we've gone through to start our family. I hope this video and the other ones I've posted have helped you. Hope you have a great day.